Hello, welcome to Glitter Goddess Yoga. I'm Am, the Glitter Goddesses. Today we'll be doing moon flow because tomorrow is our new moon for the month. We're halfway in the middle of the month, so something special about this month. Glitter Goddess Genevieve told me is that it's a very special time. October 1st and 31st, we experience full moons, starting with the harvest moon and ending with the blue moon. And so, yeah, we're celebrating the new moon, everything new, looking at what shifts we can take within our practice, looking at new opportunities, new spaces to breathe into, to move into. So I'm excited to get into that. As always, because I can't respond to your body in real time, please be super intentional in your flow, going into poses, holding poses. If you feel any pop, pinch, or overstretching sensations, please try to avoid that. I always like to suggest to have a bottle of water and a couple of pillows for some support. And if you don't have a mat, I think a blanket works fine, or if you're practicing on carpet. Updates, Pronk is still going on. Our last mini Pronk event is on Sunday. You can visit providencehonkfest.org to look at the information there. Our last Pronk event will be raising money for Ribs for Rhode Island Black Storytellers. Shout out to Valerie Tenson. And yeah, let's get started. We will begin seated, maybe on a pillow. We can start either with legs crossed or feet together, maybe sitting on the knees. And we'll begin by rolling the shoulders up and back, finding a nice, tall, long spine. You can close your eyes or find a soft gaze. Just tap into the natural breath, noticing the sensation of the inhales and exhales. And as you're here, you can start to lengthen each breath. And from here, I'll invite you to place the right hand on the belly, the left hand on the chest. And as you breathe, try to send that breath toward the right palm. Allowing the inhales to be sent toward the hips, expanding the belly like a balloon. And on the exhales, deflating, bringing the belly button closer to the spine. Continuing to slow each breath. You can release your hands if you feel like you've connected here with the belly breath. And as we feel the bottom of our breaths, at the end of the exhale, just notice that moment of stillness, breathing that stillness back in on the next inhale. And with this, we'll start to sync the breath to movement. We'll turn the head to the left on the inhale. Exhaling to turn to the right. Inhaling to the left. Exhale to the right. Inhaling to the left, keeping the shoulders down and back. Exhale to the right. We'll do the same thing up and down, inhaling up. Exhale, chin to chest, keeping the tall spine here. Inhale, open throat, maybe opening the chest this time, open shoulders. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up, really open up the throat here. Exhale down. On this next inhale, we'll grab the knees, pressing the chest forward, opening the shoulders even more. And on the exhale, we'll cave in the back, chin to chest. Inhale again, press the chest forward, reaching the hips back, open shoulders, open chest, open throat. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Continuing to sync this movement with a slow, controlled breath. Again, you can think about finding that stillness at the bottom of the breath, squeezing all the air out on the exhales. Last inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, we'll find a nice tall, long spine. Roll the shoulders back. We'll lean the left ear toward the left shoulder. We can grab the right side of the head, keeping the right shoulder down and back. And then we'll turn toward the shoulder, grabbing the back of the head. Just allowing the elbow to hang heavy here. You don't have to pull. And we'll swap to the other side. Lean the head toward the right, grabbing the left side of the head. Keep that left shoulder down and back. And then we'll turn toward the right shoulder, grabbing the back of the head. And we'll release. We'll inhale to roll the shoulders up toward the ears. Exhale, rolling back down. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, release. Continuing this movement with the breath. Inhaling, shoulders up. Exhale, back down. Inhaling, shoulders up. Last exhale here, back down. From here, we'll drop the right hand to the right side, lifting the left arm up and over it. Leaning at the side body, you can think about turning the chest toward the ceiling. And then we'll switch to the other side, dropping the left hand down, reaching the right arm up and over. And release. From here, we'll bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind us. We'll inhale and exhale, deepening the twist by turning all the way to the left. You can think about using these inhales here to lengthen the spine, Using the exhales to go deeper into the twist. On the next inhale, we'll raise the arms up and over. Exhaling back down, dropping over to the other side. Again, you can use these inhales to find length in the spine, using the exhale to go deep into the twist. On your next exhale, we'll release. Again, we'll inhale, shoulders up toward the ears. Exhale, release. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, back down. One more time, inhale, shoulders up. And exhale down. From here, we'll roll out the wrists. And then change the direction. And then facing the fingers toward the body, we'll press the fingers into the floor and then the palms, opening up the wrists, maybe giving some top of the feet to the forearms. And if it feels good for you, you can flip the hands over. Pressing the other side. Maybe balling the hands into fists. And then we'll just shake out the wrists. Maybe shake out the arms. And from here, I'll allow a moment for a sip of water. Readjust your body. Give your body whatever it needs before we move into standing poses. Back. I'm wondering if I'm teaching a yoga class right now online, it's a virtual class, making a lot of noise. How you feel? You can wait. How long do you think it ends at 10? Yeah, I think it's like 9:30 right now. It's another like 30 minutes. Okay, okay. Appreciate it. So, finding a tabletop, I like to suggest pillows or blankets beneath the knees. And always checking in with the stack of the knees with the hips and the shoulders with the wrists. And we'll do the same, syncing with the breath and movement here, pressing the chest forward on the inhales. Exhaling, rounding the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, press the chest forward, reaching the hips up and back. Exhale, round the spine. Continue this to the pace of your own breath. Finding that stillness again at the bottom of the exhales. Open back up to a new breath. And then coming back to a neutral spine, we'll send the right heel back back, tucking the toes. You can kind of pulsate into this, reaching the heel back, opening up the calf. And we'll drop that right knee down to meet the left, sending the left foot back this time. And we'll drop the left knee down to meet the right. From here, we'll send both legs out, making sure that we have a stack between the shoulders and the wrists still. For plank, you can lower down the knees. And if you haven't yet untucked the toes, we'll lower down the hips, the chest. You can stack the hands for your head. Taking a moment here. And when you're ready, we'll press up into Sphinx by stacking the elbows beneath the shoulders. You can press the palms into one another, maybe pointing the toes, engaging in both legs. You can engage in the lower back, pressing the hips into the mat, reaching long and tall with the neck. You can find that belly breath that we started our flow with, noticing the sensation of the breath. Maybe the belly opening up, filling the space. Continuing to find length in the neck. You can think about as much distance as possible between the ear and the shoulders. From here, I'll encourage you to press into the mat just a little bit more with the hips. Engaging further into the spine, we can press up even taller in the Sphinx. Before we exhale, let's lower back down to the mat. We'll press up into child's pose, touching the toes behind you. We'll reach the hips over the heels, setting the arms far overhead, maybe crawling the hands forward. Here you can allow the head to hang heavy. And then we'll crawl the hands over to the upper right side, stretching out the left side body, keeping the left hip down and back. And we'll crawl through center. We'll reach to the upper left side, keeping the right hip down and back. And we'll come back to center again, lifting back up to tabletop. From here, we'll tuck the toes behind us, reaching the hips up for our first downward dog. You can pedal out in the legs, reaching the heels down toward the floor. And then we'll walk the hands toward the feet. You can remove the pillows or blanket if it's there. Here in this forward fold, you can grab opposite elbows. Just letting the head hang heavy here. Maybe reaching the hips back a little more. Here you can nod the head yes, no. And then we'll slowly roll up the spine, bending the knees. Once you get to the top, you can roll the shoulders out. Recalibrating the breath here, we can find grounding in the feet, pressing into the floor, maybe coming up to the toes, into the heels, back to the toes, and then the heels. And once we found grounding, we'll raise the hands up and over on the inhale. And then we'll exhale to swan back down to forward fold again. We'll inhale to press into the shins for flat back, reaching the hips up and back. Exhale to forward fold again. Inhale, extended mountain pose, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands back down by our sides. Let's find our grounding in our feet one more time. Spreading the legs out a little bit wider than the hips. We'll do the same thing again, inhaling, arms up overhead. Swan diving down on the exhale, finding a new sensation here with legs wider. We'll inhale, pressing into the shins, reaching the hips up and back. And then we'll exhale to forward fold again. This time you can reach to one side, maybe grabbing the leg. We'll reach to the other side. And come back to center. We'll come back up to extended mountain pose on your next inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. And exhale, back down. From here, we'll bring the feet back below the hips, finding that grounding one more time. Here, we'll take a moment of balance. I'll face towards you to cue this. So we'll press the right foot into the floor, maybe bouncing a little bit, rolling onto the foot, noticing all three corners, 3 points of the foot, the heel, the ball point of the big toe, and the pinky toe. And you can bend into the knee, maybe bending into the hip, noticing the strength on the right side. And as you have your weight into the right side here, we'll slowly start to lift the left, maybe finding a point in the room where you can have a moment of focus, maybe sending the arms out a little bit wider. And you can roll off of the left foot until you can lift the knee. Finding balance here, cultivating strength on the right side. You can open up the hip, maybe reaching further out on the right side for balance. And if you have access to it, you can rest a left foot on a right shin or above the knee, as long as it's not on the knee, above or below the knee. Finding both arms out. Some people like to have the arms up or a prayer above the head. When you're ready, you'll release. Dropping the left leg, you can shake out the right. Maybe open up the ankle. We'll do the same thing on the left side. So press the foot into the floor, bending in the knee, finding that strength. And slowly release the right foot from the floor. Maybe opening up the arms. You can open up the hip. And then you can rest the foot either below or above the knee. Noticing the strength you need in your lower half here to keep your balance, the focus you need to keep your balance. Continuing that slow inhale and exhale, we can release. Dropping the right foot down, we'll shake out the left. Rolling out the ankle. From here, we'll send the legs out wider than we did before. Going into a super wide forward fold. You can reach the hips up and back like we did for flat back. Coming down to touch the floor. If it feels good for you, you can reach from one side to the other. And as we're crawling our hands from one side to the other, you can think about reaching the hips up and back again like we did in flat back, like we do in cat-cow. Keeping that slow inhale and exhale, pressing the outer edges of the feet into the floor. And when you're ready, we'll slightly bend the knees. We'll slowly roll up the spine one more time. Rolling the shoulders once we get to the top. From here, we're going to bend on the right side, facing the knee to the right. So bending, stacking that right knee above the ankle, reaching that left leg back, finding warrior on the right side. Here again, we're keeping that same strength we did in that balanced pose in the legs. Finding a nice, tall, long spine as if you're being pulled upward. From here, we'll flip the front palm, reaching forward, and then send that right arm up overhead. And then we'll reach the right elbow toward the right knee. You can lean the elbow on the knee and reach that left pinky. Maybe bending a little bit deeper here, as long as we're keeping the stack on the right side. And then we'll come back to warrior again. We'll flip the palms, inhale to straighten that right leg. Exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. From here, we'll wiggle that toe to point to the front. And we'll point the left toe to the left side, reaching that left knee toward the left. Stacking on this side, super important to protect the knee here. And warrior, opening up. Again, we're finding length in the spine, finding that strength in both legs. Noticing the slow, controlled breath we have access to. And then we'll flip the left palm here, reaching up and back. Maybe find something new on this side. Maybe we're noticing that we create a crescent moon shape. And then reaching that left elbow toward the left knee. We'll send the right arm up and over, opening up the chest. Let's come back to warrior. Flipping the palms upward, we'll inhale to straighten the left. Exhale to bend. Inhale, straighten. Slow exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. And exhale to bend. From here again, we'll wiggle that toe back to the front. We'll take another forward fold, reaching the hands down toward the floor. Allowing the lower back to do no work here, letting the head hang heavy. Maybe shifting the hips back and forth here, opening up the insides of the legs. And then however you'd like to get there, we'll meet back down on the floor. Maybe take a sip of water. And here we'll have the feet ahead of us, planted into the ground, hands behind us. From here, we'll find that same pressing the chest forward, reaching the hips up and back on the inhale. And then on the exhale, you can reach the hands forward to round the spine, maybe grounding the ankles. Inhale, open the chest, opening up the shoulders. Exhale, around the spine. One more time, pressing the chest forward, opening up the throat. And exhale, around the spine. This time we'll slowly lower down onto the mat. Lower back, middle, and upper. Once our shoulders reach the floor, we can send the arms out to a T. And from here, we'll lift that left heel up toward the ceiling, grabbing the back of the leg. We can pull toward the body. No matter where your leg is, we want to make sure that we're reaching as far away from the body as we can, engaging the ankle. And you can play with this isometric tension here, pulling in toward the body as you reach the heel away. And then we'll bend in the knee, dropping the ankle on the knee, on the right knee. We'll thread through behind the right side, clasping the hands behind our right thighs, and we'll pull in toward the body, working to keep a flat back here, flat spine against the floor, opening up the hip, maybe pressing the left elbow against the left knee to push away as we pull in. Finding that slow, controlled belly breath here. When you're ready, release. We'll drop the right foot down to the floor, and then the left foot. We'll reach that right heel up. Again, finding that isometric tension, you can pull in toward the body as you reach the heel out and away, flexing the ankle. And then we'll drop the right ankle on the left knee, thread behind the left thigh, pulling in toward the body. Again, we're working toward a flat spine against the floor. Maybe noticing this side feels a little bit different from the other. Here we'll release. This time we'll bring both knees in toward the chest, hugging in. We can rock side to side. And come to stillness. We'll go into happy baby by grabbing the outsides of each foot, We can send the knees toward the armpits, opening up wider in the hips. Again, working to find a flat spine here, working to stack the ankles above the knees. Another encouragement here to find that belly breath. You feel really good in this pose, filling the space between the thighs. And we'll release, bringing both feet down, right to the, and bend as much as possible, and then place the feet down. We'll go into bridge. So for bridge, we're pressing the hands down by the outsides of the feet, and then we're pressing into the floor to raise the hips up, crawling the shoulders in toward one another. We'll hold this here for a moment, thinking about the Sphinx pose we did earlier, engaging in the lower spine, pressing the hips forward. This is the same action. On your next exhale, we'll lower back down to the mat. Take another breath. Maybe adjusting the body, finding a new position. We'll take a nice, big, deep inhale first. And then on the exhale, pressing back up into bridge, crawling the shoulders closer, maybe interlocking the hands, flipping the palms outward toward the feet. You can stay here as long as you want. When you feel ready, you can lower back down to the mat. We'll go into bridge one more time. Again, pressing into the mat with both feet, lifting the hips, crawling the shoulders closer to one another, engaging in the lower spine even more than you did last time. If wheel is a part of your practice, you could take that now. And whenever you're ready, we'll release. To counter that, we'll hug the knees back in toward the body again. Again, maybe rocking back and forth, massaging muscles in the back. Another option, you could stay here, or if plow is a part of your practice, if you want to try something new, you can reach both of the feet up. Again, the same thing we did with this kind of isometric tension, with both the heels reaching up and away. First, we'll grab the backs of the legs, pressing away from the body. This is like staff pose, except on our back. And then we'll drop both palms down to the outsides of our hips and reach the feet back above our head, allowing the toes to land. Here you can play with crawling the feet back even further, reaching the hips up overhead. Something that's important here is to really take care of the neck. If you find any tension in the neck, you can try to roll the shoulders down further away from the ears, again, like we do in Sphinx. If you want to play with this pose a little bit, you can crawl the feet over to the left side or to the right side, opening up spaces in the back. Maybe finding more grounding by pressing the palms deeper into the floor. And when you're ready, release. We'll roll back down to the spine, bending in the knees. You can hug the knees back into the chest. And to have a little bit of fun, you can roll up the spine, coming back up to seated. From here, we'll keep the right leg out, bending the left in. You can slowly roll down, maybe grabbing the shin or the foot. And this hamstring stretch, it's okay to round the spine if that feels good for you, or you can press the chest forward. Either way, we're pressing that right heel into the floor. From here, we're gonna press back up. We'll reach the right hand to the left knee, reaching the left arm up and over. Deep inhale and exhale here. And on the next exhale, we'll release. Moving to the other side for this hamstring stretch. We'll crawl down the left leg. Again, it's okay to round the spine and just be here. It's okay to press the chest forward. Whatever feels good for you. And from here, we'll crawl back up. Left hand to right knee, reaching the right arm up and over. No need to reach toward the toe. You can just reach the hand up and over, opening up the right side body. And we'll release. We'll send both legs out long. And we'll find forward fold here for just a moment. Whenever you're ready, we'll roll completely down to the floor, opening up all the limbs for Shavasana. Here in Shavasana, laying all the limbs out against the floor, allowing the body to feel supported by the earth. The work in this pose is to do no work at all. Coming back to that belly breath, that slow, controlled inhale and exhale. As the breath naturally slows in this position, I'll encourage us to reflect on something new that we found in our practice today. Maybe something new that we noticed about our bodies, about our discipline, about focus. Maybe you found some strength and balance. Perhaps you cultivated some focus. Maybe you felt the spine fall into alignment, or a release in the hips you've never felt before. Taking that in, using the exhales here to release in all the limbs, the shoulders, the elbows, the hands. Allow the exhales to release any tension in the ankles, the knees, and the hips. Allow the exhales to relax the neck, the upper back, middle back, the lower. You can even use this next exhale to release any tension in the eyebrows and the jaw. Reminding us again to find that stillness at the bottom of each exhale. A reminder that something new is coming next. Each next inhale is a blessing, a miracle, something new, something birthed, something created. Another moment, another opportunity. A new thought, a new action. On your last couple of breaths, I invite you to come to fetal position on the left or right side. Take a moment before we press up to seated for our closing breaths. Taking your time if you need to. And once you're here, we'll roll the shoulders up, finding a long, tall spine, releasing them down. You can have your hands in the lap, resting over the heart or at heart center. We'll close with our 4 breaths. A breath for the ancestors that we each bring into our practice. Breathing in and out. A breath for the indigenous who have been here since before colonization. Breathing in and out. A breath to thank yourself for your practice today. Breathing in and out. And a breath, just for a breath, breathing in and out. The loving human in me bows down to the loving human in you. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with us today. Again, this is to build engagement for my walking meditation project that will be coming out the end of fall, beginning of winter, which will allow folks to take a walk through a little bit of history, some of the present and the future, with my voice and some of the voices of my collaborators, some from the House of Glitter, all in production for this meditation I'd like to take you on an experience through the south side of Providence. So you can hear more from that on our Facebook. And again, we have one more mini prompt coming up on Sunday. And that will be This Is My House, Raising Money for Rhode Island Black Storytellers. And that consists of 4 performances, one at 1 o'clock, 2, 3, and 4 o'clock here at the House of Glitter. So you can find more of that on providencesongfest.org. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for joining.